Morning gang, Saturday morning, beautiful morning, very cold, but nice layer of frost on the ground. So today's the day, get properly stuck into this now. It's the first proper day I've had where I've got nothing else on, so I'll properly plan this one in to go and start smashing this pond and getting a few bits and bobs sorted. Hopefully some decent content in this video. I've bought myself a couple of gadgets because I do like a gadget over the last couple of weeks, so we'll do a little bit of a review on those, get your opinion, that's all. I don't review things for the company or whatever. I just want your opinion, and I can give you mine, and if it helps you out, then it helps you out, so that's superb. That's what I set this channel up for, was to get the advice from those that have been doing it for a while, and any pointers and hints and stuff, and I'll make my mistakes along the way, and I'm sure everybody will let me know, and some of them will fix and some of them I'll have done on purpose, and I'll tell you why. But we'll just go and have a quick look in the greenhouse and see what's going on in there. So I'll flip you around and we'll have a wander over. Really nice thick layer of frost on. I do like mornings like this, get the blood flowing, the condensation on there, because I am heating in here now. We changed electricity suppliers and our bills are all over the place, so at the moment they're paying me, so I'm going to make the most of it. It'll catch me up at some point, so I'll go more into this a bit later. Fish are all tucked up under the covers over there. They gather themselves up around the pump and what have you. I don't think you can see them in there. No. So we'll let's have a look. You might get them in here. Oh, there you go. You can see a few of them down there. Coming on a treat. So yeah, we'll have a look at this later on. Got an ink bird on. Got the heater sorted out. Move me fountain or whatever the feed back into the pond, move that around because it was making far too much noise and splashing water everywhere. So yeah, we'll have a look at that a bit later on. Main job for today, crack on with that, get this hole dug, and I've been toing and froing over what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it, but I'll show you when it's done. Hopefully we can get some really good headway with that today. We've got the old pergola that we took down, so the stuff on the floor is pretty much rotten. I'm going to recondition these ones here and these posts. They're a bit rotten at the ends, but they're fairly solid the rest of the way, so I'm going to cut them off. I've got enough of them there to pop one on each corner, and enough of these to do a pergola bit over the top as well. They don't need to be that long because I've already got the height of the brickwork, obviously. So that's it. I think even Mrs. C is going to get her wellies on and give me a hand out today. We'll see how long that lasts, because it's bloody freezing, so I'll give it 10 minutes before she finds something else much more important to be doing. But I will get back to you folks very shortly with an update on where we are. Catch you in a bit. Well, I'm absolutely gutted. I don't know how this has managed to do it. I'm not going to show you. There's a dead fish. Well, I'm going to show you. I've disposed of him. But it was Chuck Norris. For those of you who don't know, Chuck Norris was the only survivor from 5 I bought beginning of last year from the Carp Co. My own fault. Changed the water temperature too quickly. Saw 4 of them off, but Chuck had stayed and he piled on a load of growth. He was looking really well. And I have no idea, but he'd managed to get himself, I'm just doing some water changes on this, it's a little bit murky, but you can see where he's been lying. I found him. He's got through the mesh. You can see the entire thing is covered with that mesh, with that net. Alright, just as a jump guard, although they're not that jumpy at the moment. However, he was lying right there, flat on the top of the mesh. I've been away with work for a couple of days, so I hadn't checked. So the rest of them are all looking fine and dandy. They're all down there. So the water clarity is a bit rubbish at the moment, but the parameters are good. So I've just done a filter clean and I'll sort it out. But yeah, how the hell has he done that? I don't know. But there you go. Even with a mesh garden it, still manage it. So never out really, but yeah. Oh, Chuck, like I thought he'd be made of tougher stuff. I thought he'd be having a party on there, but there you go. Brown bread. So, alright, I'm getting shouted at to go in for me brew. So, do that. Get the old eyeballs tested, because I'm getting old and I can't see far enough. And then we'll come back and crack on with that. Catch you in a bit. Bloody big roots. On we go. Winnie, helping with the roots. Lunatic dog. And Basil's. Getting a right that one. Lee Hadfield, you're right. Pond fitness. Ooh, need to get some. Get rid of this Christmas belly. On we go. Ooh, quick 5 minutes. I think we've managed to shift most of it. Dogs having a nice little play in it now. So we're about 60 centimetres down in there, so a bit left to go, but we've hit the clay underneath now. So I'm just having to sit down in the greenhouse. It's nice and warm in here. Fish are, they've got the hump. They don't like people coming in. They're going to have to get used to it. Still got to do my water change on here. I've cleaned the filter and whatever. I just need to get some more water in, but I needed to wait for the hose pipe to thaw out. So we're still a bit murky, but we're holding out. It's about 17 degrees in there at the moment. So they're scooting around everywhere and getting a bit of food and what have you. So they're starting to put some size on. So we'll give it a few weeks and we'll get those ones we got from Jack out and give them a measure up. And yeah, go from there. So I've had a bit of a got rid of some of the stuff. So eventually, let's just stand back a little bit here a minute. Eventually the plan for in here is to flood it with concrete. So we've got a top bit of brickwork comes up there, so we've got plenty of height. So flood it with concrete. Take everything out, flood it with concrete. Filters will go along this side for the pond outside there. Obviously this will come out, this will be a spawning pool or something like that. It's really useful, come in handy for something. I'm going to keep the bench, obviously take it out while we do the concreting. Bench will go back in, and then I'm going to build 8x4 pond across there. That will be fully insulated, double line king span. I'll probably get a welded pond liner for that. Like I say, 8x4. And that'll be the grow on tank in there, that'll be heated. And then I've got the architect coming round. Oh, a bit of a close up there of my sweaty melon. Architect's coming round tomorrow to do the survey. So flip it around. There you go. I've got a good chunk of it dug out, all piled up over there because it's good soil. So might be better this way with the sun not quite so in. So yeah, taking shape. I'll measure this up properly in a bit. I can't remember the size of it now, but it's decent, it's reasonable. Had a bit of a wrestle with some of these buggers. Cripes alive. Well, you're shot in sun now. Took some digging out. So yeah, still a glorious day. It's just what we want. Mrs. got a bit of washing out. Happy days. So I think I remember on one of my early videos, we bought this place in November, maybe for the size of the plot, but we're going to go up a story off that kitchen extension, and we're going to go right to the full width of the house, and we're going to come out to the edge of this slab here, so it's 6 meters out from the house. Double story there, so we've got a bathroom with an ensuite, kitchen, utility room, and then like an open plan kitchen diner type thing. And I have some bifolds on there. Got to put a detached garage on there. I'll just step over this way a little bit so we're not in the sun. Nutters, love it here. Right, yeah, so 20 foot by 10 foot, home office in the back of that, garage at the front, and then that should bring me out somewhere about in line with the front of the caravan, where the caravan is now. We can see is about the corner of the ball, and then from the middle of the garage, about here, we're going to put a big ash pond, big raised pond, big window facing the bifolds, so we can sit there. That's west facing, so in the summer we get the sun setting down over there. Bifolds, gin and tonic, big pond window, happy days. But I've got to do that bit first, otherwise the boss will shout at me. So, crack on with this, get a bit more done, get that water change done, water change in the grow on site, in the fry tank in the house, and I'll get back to you in a bit, show you where we're getting to. See you in a minute. Okay, so we are at the moment 60 centimetres at the deepest point, 54 centimetres at the shallowest point. Shifted all of that. Mrs. Cashin doing a bit of graft, nice to see, although in fairness she has been busy all morning. So I'm gonna get done the old carpet trick, because we've got plenty of that. Pond liner, get that in, the pond underlay, then I'll get the liner in, and then I am going to have to build the sides up. I was hoping to dig down a bit further, but we're just hitting solid ground now, so I'm probably going to have to raise the sides up a little bit just to get it to the metre. But you know, 60 centimetres is not a bad depth. I'll measure it up and work it all out to see how many litres it is, but because I'm going to do the main big pond as the show pond, I'm going to throw all my money at that. This one I'm just going to do on a pump basis, because it's nice and easy, because we can just run everything straight from there straight into here. So I'm probably going to put marine ply this side, so we can put some holes in it. I'm just making it a little bit neater, leave some of the windows in. So for example, like this here, where it's got this window, and there's another one further along, I'll leave them in because it lets a bit of light in, and it's nice because I can see the bird feeders hanging up there from when I'm sat inside. Oh, Jesus Christ, killing myself on them. So all the filters, like I said, all of this is going to be laid out with concrete. All the filters will go that side, and then we'll have the grow on tank there. So that'll be plenty for me to be getting on with. I was going to put a bottom drain in there. Jack, when he was round, gave me some good advice on that, and he's right, and it is the right thing to do if that was going to be my main pond, and I didn't want to throw my money at the big one. So yeah, pump fed, plenty of them about, so it's not a big one, and then we'll whack that into there on the filters. So we'll crack on, get it in. See if I can get a drop of water in. I need to stick some water out of that just to weigh it down, and I'll pump it back out anyway, because it won't be any good, because it's going to be a little while before this is up and running properly. But I just want to try and get it in and get the levels right, in case I need to do any adjusting. I can drain it off, pump it out and have a play around. So catch you in a bit. So we'll just get it in, get it a bit level, pull the corners in a bit. I've got to raise the sides by a good 40 centimetres, which is easy to do because I've just flipped the pond liner back over it, build it up, and away we go. But I love a bit of visual progress, and I'm impatient as hell. So on we go, cracking stuff. We'll have this filled in, like I said, nothing going in here until end of March really, so it's just a case of getting it up and getting it going, start to get it going through. I've got a couple I might put in it when I get the filters running, just obviously to kick start everything else, but I'll have to see which ones I'm prepared to put in. But yeah, we're looking good, still working. Look at that, looks like a smurf. Right, okay, back in a bit. Okay gang, so while we're waiting for everything to sort itself out and fill back up, I've done a water change in here, about 10%. It's a little bit murky because I have put some anti-back in, just because that one was dead lying on the top, and it might have been there a day or two because I've been away, like I say. So I just thought put some anti-back in, just to be on the safe side. So just topping that up now. But yeah, I was talking about the couple of gadgets. So first one is excuse fingers over my lens. First one, the Vary Speed. So I know a few people have done this, and Jamie did a cracking review. It was just one of the things that convinced me to get it, and then I put it on one of the WhatsApp groups, and a few people suggested it. Skeggy and a couple of others, Dave and what have you. So brilliant. Thanks very much for that, great advice, and that's what it's all about for me, doing the YouTube stuff and being in the groups and whatever. All the shenanigans aside, I've got absolutely no interest in that whatsoever. I have enough of that with work and the missus. So some great advice. So I put that on because the Cloverleaf has a minimum flow rate of 4,000 litres per hour and a maximum of 6,000 litres per hour, and I've got a 4,000 litre per hour pump and a 6,000 litre per hour pump. Winner winner. So with the 4,000 on, it wasn't getting enough, so it kept on cutting out, and with the 6,000 on max chat, it was too fast, it was never turning off. So pop that on, set it about halfway, just less than halfway, so it's running at about 4,500, maybe something like that. Sorry, it's an 8,000 litre pump, not a 6,000 litre, an 8,000 litre pump and a 4,000 litre pump. So yeah, max is 6,000, so just staying on all the time because the water flows too fast through it. So I banged it down on there, set it just over halfway, so it's about 4,500, and it's perfect. All right, so that's great. Water temperature's coming up lovely. I have dropped an aquarium thermostat in there as well, just to give it a little bit of a boost. It's only a 300 watt, but it just helps me out when I'm doing some refills and stuff like that. But the thermostat on the Cloverleaf, they're not that great. Around, you don't want to look at my ugly mug I'm talking about. So yeah, the Cloverleaf thermostat itself isn't brilliant. So I love a gadget. So I bought one of these ink birds there. Ooh, can't really see that, can you? Sorry, a bit blurry, can't get the focus on it. Anyway, great piece of kit. You can set the temperature. It's got two probes, which drop in there, and that's just to make sure one doesn't fail. So if it gets a difference between the probes, it alerts you, lets you know there's a difference between the probes. And basically all you do is you plug the heaters into this, you set your temperature on that, you set your min-max temperature. It's got an app, brilliant, it works. I was in Banbury the other night, I was messing around with it, only a little bit, obviously, half a degree or so, don't want to do anything silly, and I had the missus looking to check whether it was clicking on or off, and it's working. I've set it at 15 degrees as a minimum. It dropped slightly below that the other night when it was really cold, and the alarm went off on the phone. So superb. So you can either nudge it down or nudge it up, but it really does work. It really does work, and it means I can keep an eye on it without worrying about it too much. It's got that cut off. You can set a max temperature, which I've set it around about 28 degrees, set a minimum around about 15 degrees for the alarms, and then I just set the temperature through the day. So at night, when the temperatures are naturally coming down, I just drop it down so it's not working so hard, the Cloverleaf. And then during the day, when it's got a little bit of help because we're in the greenhouse from the sun, I just nudge it up then to 22 degrees, and we've been holding pretty steady. And it gives you a graph as well, a 24-hour graph of how the temperature's changing and fluctuating, so you can see whether you're getting any massive peaks or troughs and try and tweak it to adjust. So far, it's been in about 4 or 5 days, and so far it's absolutely bang on. Really impressed with it. So we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, 50 quid on Amazon seems to do the trick. 10 quid for the Vary Flow. thankfully everything's working. Put a pipe in down there because the water was just coming out of the, I had that piece on there, so it was coming out and it was pushing the water around the pond, which was fine, but it was splashing about everywhere and it was bloody noisy. So I've dropped the pipe in. I've got a air stone in that little box filter, so it's pumping oxygen, and you can see there's plenty of bubbles, there's plenty of oxygen coming up out of there now. So yeah, it's looking good. Fish are all healthy, obviously apart from Chuck Norris, defoed, but yeah, we live and learn. We live and learn. So yeah, so it's all good. So I'm just going to top this up, and I'm going to finish topping the one up outside just to get the shape of the liner. And Mrs. has just gone to make a brew. So yeah, just want to get the shape of the liner, and then I can fold it back over, raise the height of it, get the pergola on. Bish bash bosh, couple of weeks we should be good to go. So I will flip back in a bit, find a little bit when it's full, and that will probably be about me. So I'll catch you very shortly. So I think that's pretty much it. Still pumping a little bit in there. It's about 2,500 litres that will go in there eventually. There's a bit of crud come out of one of the pipes I was using to flush out the filters, but it's all right. It's all going to get recycled anyway. It's just to try and give it some shape. So yeah, as I say, I'm going to raise the sides up there by another 50 mil, so I'll take it just over 1 metre. I'm probably going to do it in sleepers rather than block. I'll have a look and have a think on it. It's just going to be quicker to do it in wood rather than do it in block work. I just haven't got the time or the patience for bricklaying, I'll be perfectly honest. So we'll give that a crack. Everything's settling down nicely in here now. Temperatures getting back up to 15.5 now. Everything's bubbling away nicely, all nice and tidy. Thinking about using these to have a little bit of a project filter, get some PP in there, give them all a bloody good clean out and what have you, but they're all good, no cracks and nothing in them. So static bed, moving bed in one, pump it in, gravity out. So yeah, we'll see, but that's all right. Good day's yakka. Mrs. has mucked in well, which was nice. So we're gonna have a curry and a bottle of red probably. Managed to get most of the really good soil in there, so managed to get most of it in and levelled out along the back there. Get rid of all this crap on another weekend. Just throw it in there and burn it probably. But yeah, happy with that. That's nice. We'll have a nice view out of the kitchen window when all that's done. All that crap's gone and it's looking good. But yeah, nice pool. And then big one over there when funds and everything else allows. Alright then gang, hope you enjoyed that. Any advice, anything else, that's exactly what I do it for. It's to put it out there, and if you see my glaring mistakes as a newbie, then let me know. You know, there's budget constraints and various other things, but we'll throw what we can at it, and we'll have a bit of fun on the way, because that's what it's all about. It's just for fun. Alright folks, take it easy, catch you next time.